Alright, fellow survivors, my name is Adam Beasy and this is the lab portion for lesson 8 of the walking code. If you remember from the lecture portion, we were talking about enumerations. Well, we're going to do a real quick lab with enumerations. We have our top of our code here. I just have it increased so you can see it a little better. I have my pound include IO stream, which we've been using for a while, using namespace std, so I don't have to put in std : c out and all that junk, right? I can just put it there. I have my main function. Inside my main function, I have a multi-line comment. Alright, this is our zombie scoring system. Just like in the lecture, walkers are going to be worth 10 points, runners are going to be worth 25 points, and the big bad giants are going to be worth 50 points. I have my enumeration here. Alright, starts with the keyword enum, my collection, which would be zombies, and then I have walker, runners, and giants in here. And I'm not limited to 3 items here. I can have more than that. I can have 100 items if I wanted to. We're just going to limit it to 3. And as the comment here says, we're going to be changing this during the lab session, because we're going to go through, we're going to find out why this way doesn't really work, and then we're going to find out how to change it. I have a variable called myPoints that is an integer data value or data type, and I've set that to 200, so I'm starting off at 200 points. It's going to output the screen. I killed a walker. My score is now myPoints plus walker, which means it should be 210 points. Alright, does this math work? Let's find out. And then I just have my system pause and return 0 to terminate execution of my program. But what we're going to work with here is this line of code, and this line of code is what we're going to focus on in this lab session here. Alright, and just keep in mind that myPoints starts out at 200. Every time the program runs, myPoints starts out at 200. Alright, so if I run it, I get our console window here. Eventually. Here we go. I killed a walker. My score is now 200. Well, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because it should be 210. Press any key to continue. The reason why it didn't come up right is because if you remember, during the lecture, the enums automatically set default values for every item in it. It starts off at 0, so this is implied that that equals 0. Runner equals 1, and giant equals 2. And if I had a third item, it would equal 3, or excuse me, if I had a fourth item, it would equal 3, and so on and so forth. So that's why it came up as just 200, because 200 plus 0 is 200. If I change this to the right value here, we're not going to do runners just yet, and I'm not going to do giants just yet. Here we go. And I rerun my program. I am going to see that my score is now 210. Alright, way to go. So our logic works. Let me see. Let's say we killed a giant. No, here we go. We want to kill a runner. Let's do things in order. There we go. And runners are worth 25 points. Here we go. And when I run my program now, my score should be whatever my points is, 200 plus whatever value for runner, which is 25. There we go. 225. Alright, so that worked. Now I'm going to change this to giant. There we go. And I'm going to run it. And it says my score is now 226. And this is because giant comes after runner. There is no value for giant, so it just gives itself a default value of 1 greater than the value that came before it. So it went from 25 to 26. If I say giant equals 250. There we go. And I run it this time. There we go. My score is now 250. So we can see that we have our enumeration working correctly. And this is why it's really important to kind of check your code out. You just don't assume it's right. You try it with different values. You try this, you try that. You try all the different combinations. It's a really good way to QA your code, right? Quality assure your code. And you know, don't ever assume anything just works. Try it out. Give it a shot. These things do have to be in uppercase here, right here, but they do not have to be in uppercase in your quotation marks, right? Because if I put giant here, just like I have it, right, that's wrong because it's undefined. Because keep in mind it's case sensitive, and numeration is just a collection of constant integers. Okay. Also keep in mind that I cannot do this. Well, I'm going to change it back to where it's right first. And I can't say, here we go, zombies, now here we go, giants equals giant plus 10. Right? I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Because it's a constant. Right? It is a constant. And we know it's a constant because it's in all uppercase. Again, the compiler is not going to catch this. And keep in mind that the compiler didn't catch that our walkers were supposed to be equal to 10, our runners were supposed to be equal to 25, and our giants were supposed to be equal to 50 when they weren't set that way. The compiler really doesn't care about that. Syntactically, it's correct, so the compiler is going to compile it for us. Alright, this is why you really got to watch things, because you can introduce logic errors and things like that in your program. This just flat out will not compile. If I try to compile this program with that line of code in it, it just will not do it, because there we go, conversion to requires explicit cast. Okay, cannot convert for to main zombie. Okay, well that's about data casting and stuff like that, but it just will not do it because these are constants. So I'm just going to take that out, clean my code up a little bit here. I want some white space, but not a whole lot of white space. Here we go. Alright, so that's how we use enumerations in programs and kind of what to look out for and things of that nature. Alright, I hope you've found this video really informative. If you need to know anything else, just leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel. Alright, see you later. Bye.